Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we share headlines from our city, from our state, and from our country. We share comments that you contribute, questions, and suggestions. We combine all this information so that we can connect as English-speaking locals here in Puerto Vallarta. Today is Saturday, August 20th. And I don't know about you, but I planned a Saturday and Sunday. I planned the weekend for myself. That'll include a little bit of work, a little bit of fun, a little bit of debauchery, and who knows, I may get lucky. Just kidding. It is a pleasure to see you, and it is a pleasure to read all your welcomes and your good mornings and whatnot. As always, we encourage anyone that is watching for the first time. Are you watching for the first time? Then write the word new in your comment. Yes, we are schwitzing. Write the word new in your comment, and we'll be so very happy to give you a nice welcome. And if there's something truly important that you wish to share with us, please add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment, and we'll be looking for those during the second half of the broadcast. Today's news are a little wonky. There was not a lot of news out there, but there is something important going on that I want to bring up to your attention just for context. And there is a funny story about one of our favorite Japanese stores, and it is shady and it is wonderful, and I can't wait to share it. And I have an update about that hike from next weekend, which I think we're going to go, and I want to make sure that you know about it in case you want to join. And I want to make sure that you know that a week from today, our broadcast will be pre-recorded because we're going on a hike that we're going to obviously document and photograph and videotape so that we can talk about it when we come back the following Monday. So let's get started. I think we have it all, right? Yes, Paco, push that button. Oh, nice. Let's see. Hold on just a second. There you go. Today we are going to talk about Ayotzinapa. And Ayotzinapa is a word in Spanish that represents a very, very tragic episode in the history of our country that I want to tell you about right now. You may or may not be familiar with it, but on September 26, 2014, while Enrique Peña Nieto was president of Mexico, 43 male students from the Ayotzinapa Rural Teachers College were forcibly abducted and then disappeared in Iguala, Guerrero, here in Mexico, obviously. They were allegedly taken into custody by local police officers from Iguala and Cocula in collusion with organized crime. But they were never seen again. The mass kidnapping has caused continued international protests and social unrests that led at the time to the resignation of Guerrero Governor Angel Aguirre Rivero in the face of statewide protests on October 23, 2014. Since then, there have been books, there have been movies, there have been documentaries, art has been created, songs have been written. This has never been put away because the parents of the students were never satisfied with the official story. But back to 2014, on November 7, Mexican Attorney General Jesus Murillo Karam gave a press conference in which he announced that several plastic bags had been found by a river in Cocula containing human remains, possibly those of the missing students. And through the passing of time, a so-called historic truth, and I say that very much in quotes, a historic truth, or rather the authorities' version of what really happened there, was developed. But again, this so-called historic truth has not satisfied those affected and many people that are concerned. On December 3rd, 2018, right after President Andrés Manuel López Obrador came into power, he announced the creation of a truth commission to lead new investigations into the event. And little by little, this commission has been crumbling the strength and credibility of this so-called historic truth. And what the historic truth claims is that corrupt policemen arrested the students and delivered them to a drug cartel that subsequently murdered and incinerated the bodies, throwing the remains into a river, a truth that President López Obrador's administration has had a major issue with. Now, why am I sharing this with you today? Well, because the aforementioned Attorney General, or former Attorney General Jesus Murillo Karam, has been arrested for his alleged participation in the disappearing of the 43 Ayotzinapa students. And this happened just yesterday after the Truth Commission revealed that the disappearance was a federal crime in which authorities at many levels were involved. Furthermore, there is no indication that any of the students is still alive today. How's that for a Saturday? Not fun, is it? But this is an important story for Mexico and for Mexicans. This is an important situation that continues to be unresolved. And just like up north, all kinds of shady stuff is appearing about a certain former president and those people involved with that former president. Down here, karma is a bitch as well. Now, will the apprehension of Murillo Karam clarify exactly everything that happened? We don't know. But again, this is important. It's important in our culture. It's important in our country. And as a suggestion, you may want to consider watching a two-part documentary on Netflix. It is called The 43 in English. In Spanish, it is called Los Días de Ayotzinapa. And I will share the link for this documentary on the show notes today in case you want to become more immersed in this particular situation. Now, how about that crazy chaos on the highway heading north to Nayarit yesterday? We had some preliminary reports from Harold while we were broadcasting yesterday, and things got really ugly. There was a lot of traffic all the way down to the airport, bumper to bumper, from the airport all the way up to the bridges. And first they said, of course, that they would only work at night, but they were working yesterday. And even Nayarit Governor Miguel Ángel Navarro, who was late for an event, had to get off his car, and take a ride on someone's motorcycle because he needed to get somewhere. And there are photos to prove that, but we're not going to find them right now. But authorities have now revealed that what happened is that Thursday night, a drunk driver was crossing one of the bridges in his vehicle and ran over three workers, sending them to the hospital with major injuries. And needless to say, the work had to be interrupted. But since it was interrupted in a way in which vehicles attempting to cross the following day or yesterday would be endangered due to potential punctured tires, the work was picked up yesterday morning. And this is why things got so fugly trying to get north from Puerto Vallarta to Nayarit. But hopefully they will return to their nighttime shift, because we have 2 more months, 60 more days before this maintenance work is concluded. So again, as we've said before, if you have to head north down the highway on a regular basis or every now and then, just be mindful of the fact that you may take longer to get there than usual. Let's take a look at the weather. Snarky Weather says, something's wrong because I never said you could have such nice weather. Well, frack you too. No, I'm just kidding. It is 26 degrees, feels like 30. Humidity is at 100%, so it's going to be one of those days. And of course, our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 79. And let's see, our weather forecast for today says rain until evening with a high of 31 and a low of 24. Tomorrow, Sunday, humid and partly cloudy with a high of 32 and a low of 25. And then Monday, we'll have rain in the evening and overnight with a high of 32 and a low of 25. And this is what we can expect for the weekend, rain and humidity. Are you surprised? I am not. Now, let us move on to our next. Yes, I wanted to tell you, we've been talking about chiles en nogada quite a bit. And yesterday I had to go shopping at Costco, where you can get them pre-prepared. And then I had to go shopping at La Comer. And of course, I love shopping at La Comer because I always bump into all kinds of fun people and friends. And of course, I ran into Claudia, who is Carmen Porras' wife. And they together run Oculto, their wonderful new space after they closed El Arrayán, where they have cooking classes and secret dinners. And they also will bring their food experience to your own villa if you choose to do that. Well, Claudia told me that in this season, chiles en nogada will be a centerpiece of their offerings. So if you are planning on pursuing chiles en nogada, you can always book a dinner for you and your friends if you'd like to do that. If you'd like to learn how to make them, there's going to be cooking classes that have to do with chiles en nogada. Or hey, if you want your chiles en nogada at home, the nice folks of Oculto will do that and bring them to you. So I'm going to leave Oculto's Facebook page so that you can find out more details about this. And then this one made me laugh because I must confess, I love this store, this Japanese store, Miniso or whatever it is called. If you have been to La Isla, you've probably noticed it. It is there. Miniso. We don't know where the accent is, but they sell all kinds of chingaderas. It is like truly a Japanese chingadera store. But as it turns out, it is not Japanese. It is a Chinese company, and they have over 5,000 stores in China and elsewhere in the world. When they first came to Mexico, they promoted themselves as a Japanese company, despite the fact that all their products are made in China. Something that people progressively became aware of, but we kept going back because the prices are affordable. I had no idea that it was Chinese because I am that gullible. But every time I go to La Isla, I love shopping at that store, or at least browsing for this, that, and the other. But apparently things got ugly recently because they published a photo in their social media page for Spain, of a new Japanese geisha doll. Well, the geisha doll was not wearing a Japanese costume, and to make matters worse, the doll was their own version of Disney's Mulan. And you don't fuck around with Disney. So the corporation has had to apologize at international level. And between now and March of next year, they have vowed to remove all Japanese references from their brand, their marketing strategy, and their products. So moving forward, Miniso will be what it always has been, a Chinese store. And I want to I want to mention again this hike to the waterfall in Agua Azul that I mentioned yesterday, because I read a couple of comments from you saying, yes, go to the fall and let us know how it went. And then some friends of mine also said, hey, I'd like to go with you. So everything seems to indicate that this is the way to go. So this coming Saturday, we will pre-record our broadcast. I am going on this hike to the El Salto waterfall in Agua Azul. It is free, it is bilingual, and I've been reading some of the posts from the tour company that is doing it, the Corazon Vallarta Tours, and they seem like very nice people. So I'm going to put this in the show notes in case anybody wants to tag along. This is a week from today. So again, this is not a coffee and headlines thing. This is all of us going together to this hike. And before we move into your comments and questions, just a reminder that there is this adoption day coming up. I think this is today. And yes, this is today. Oh, no, that was yesterday. Never mind that. But today, Saturday, from 4 to 8 p.m. at Plaza Dorada in Jarretaderas, you can adopt a pooch if you bring a bag of dry food for cats and dogs. I'm going to leave these events for you in the show notes so you can consider them. And now, let's take a look at what everybody is up to. Let's see. Lots of good mornings, which are very much appreciated. Oh my God, I forgot to load one more piece of news. How sad. How can I do that? Well, the other piece of news, now that I'm thinking about it, is I wanted to let you know of a restaurant in Guadalajara that is now offering CBD cuisine. And I'm wondering if this is a trend that we're going to start seeing here, there, and everywhere. How are restaurants getting away with doing this when CBD is not formally legalized or approved? I have no idea. But I did notice that in Guadalajara, a restaurant is very openly advertising their CBD products. If you want to learn more about this restaurant, just write CBD, and I'll be happy to bring that information to you on Monday. Let's see. Good mornings galore. I love it. Good mornings galore. Including from Idaho. Boise, Idaho. Hello, Hector. It's great to read you. Looking for cues. I don't see any cues just yet, but I did spot a few cues while I was sharing news earlier. Angelica asks, did they find out the reason why they killed them? Nope. Again, this is the Ayotzinapa issue is one of those big mysteries that we may or may not be able to uncover completely. My personal hunch, and this is just me, is that somebody fucked up, and when you fuck up and you murder 47 people, that's a big fuck up. So what do authorities do? They cover their dirty deeds, and this is what happened. I mean, why? Again, let's not speculate. Nobody really knows what went on. Jorge asks, what days or when are your walk days? Thanks, Paco. Jorge, we haven't had regular walk days for a while because of the weather. I'll be perfectly honest. Some days are just unbearable. But we usually try to walk on Wednesdays, but more than once we have featured walks on some of the days. My best suggestion to you is keep watching and keep looking for videos of walks as we upload them to YouTube. Vic says, I like that weather app. Which is it? It is called Carrot Weather. And it's available for Mac, and it is available for iOS devices. Carrot Weather. Let's see. Oh, you can decide how snarky you want the comments to be. I actually have it on Medium. There are some very murderous comments that Carrot Weather can deliver if you choose to have them be really, really brutal. Da, 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 da. I'm trying to look at slideshow behind your computer. Keep trying. You won't be able to because you would realize that I collect some very perverted images that you really don't want to be watching. That's why it is out of focus. Let's see what else. Google says travel is much better north from the airport into Nayarit today. Well, that's good to know. Absolutely. Let's see. Precisely, Logan. You know, moving forward, they will not give us a friendly arigato because it turns out that it is not Japanese, it is Chinese. So only God knows how arigato is said in Chinese. But that is a good point. If we get there on April of next year, 1 month after they have reformed themselves, and if they continue to arigato us on the way out, we will know that they have not fulfilled their part of the deal. Da, da, da. CBD should not have the illegal part. I agree with you, Christy, but again, there's no formal, there's no nothing. There's no regulation in Mexico for CBD, THC, or any of those acronyms. There is no regulation that I'm aware of. And I think there must be a lot of people that say they have CBD, but what they have is THC, or vice versa. I don't know. Let's see what else. Charlotte says, want to shout out my love and thanks to my amiga Gina Hendricks with Whiskey Kitchen. When a gal's laid up in bed after foot surgery and Gina sends her food and banana pudding, life gets that little bit sweeter. Let's all pay a little kindness forward today. That's what we are all about. Thank you very much for sharing that, Charlotte, and I hope you are feeling better and convalescing as you should. It seems cartels commit crimes to prove they can outdo the police. Harold, it seems, maybe not. We don't like to speculate here at Coffee and Headlines, so I'm going to unread what I just read and encourage everybody that to follow news and headlines as we know. I actually don't know what the MO of the cartel is any more than anybody that is uninformed. So that brings us to the end of today's broadcast. Unless you have anything important to throw into the comments in these last few minutes, I am going to be baking and I am going to be watching TV and listening to fun music. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be getting together with some dear friends and taking some photos and video. I'm going to go into Emiliano Zapata, so that will be a great opportunity to see what is new and exciting over there. If I find something, I'll be happy to share it. If I do a video of the walk, I'll be happy to share it as well. But between now and then, as always, I want to thank you for either supporting Coffee and Headlines with coffees or for committing to a membership, whether it is a monthly membership or an annual membership. You make all the difference in the world. Today, Facebook told me that there are over 5,000 followers, 5,000 something or other. I don't keep track, but I am grateful to know that we must be doing something good here. And you're part of it too. So thank you very much for being part of this community. I hope you will have an amazing weekend, and I hope to read you and share news with you sometime in the near future. Have a good one.